When I look back at my 20s, I sometimes feel like I completely wasted them. Hi, I'm Ben, I'm 32 years old, and in this video I'm going to talk about 5 harsh truths I wish someone would have told me 12 years ago. Let's get into it. Number 1, failure is inevitable. I spent a lot of my 20s not doing the things I wanted to do with my life just because I was so afraid to fail. And I was afraid of what other people would eventually think about me if I tried but failed at them. So I didn't try anything at all. I had all of these ideas about my life. I wanted to write a book. I wanted to start a YouTube channel like this one, but I never really dared to because I never felt ready for it. So I spent a lot of time reading about these things, watching videos about these things, basically preparing for doing the thing, but I never really took the leap. And all of that just because I was so afraid to fail. What I didn't understand though is that if you want to be good at anything in life, you have to fail, and you have to fail a lot. In fact, you have to embrace failure because the biggest learnings always are in these failures. And I just wish someone would have told me, well, Ben, it's all right to fail. It's even a good thing to fail. And in fact, you want to fail as much and as often as possible because this is the thing that will actually move you forward. And what I didn't realize as well was that actually I was failing. I was actively failing by not doing anything, by avoiding failure. Not doing anything is just the biggest failure of them all. And if I could go back to being 20 again, I would do so many things totally differently, just because now I'm aware of that and I am willing to fail way more. And I'm sure that I would be in a totally different place right now if I would have started to fail earlier in my life. Number 2, people will judge you anyway. Another problem I had in my 20s was that I was trying to please everybody. I wanted to be liked. I wanted to avoid people judging me. I wanted other people to think highly of me. So I did everything I could to kind of try to influence what other people actually thought of me. And that resulted in a lot of people pleasing and kind of hiding my true authentic self because I felt like if I was just me, people wouldn't like me for it. Now that behavior actually had some really bad consequences. First of all, I was just incredibly unhappy with my social life in many ways. Because very often I constantly felt like I had to pretend to be someone else, which was exhausting and also kind of hurt my sense of self-worth. And the other problem was that even if people liked me, they didn't like me for who I was or who I am, but for who I pretended to be. And I actually felt like when I let loose a little bit more and be more authentic, I would often get this backlash from people who were saying things like, what's going on with you? Why are you so weird today? Why I wasn't being weird, I was just different. I was just myself instead of this pretentious version of myself. And that hurt a lot, and that even deepened that conflict inside me and made me even more conscious about myself, more unhappy and more insecure in the end. But what I know now, what I should have done back then was just to be unapologetically myself. Because A, I now know that nothing is wrong with me, and B, it would just have saved me so much energy and effort and unhappiness. Also, and this is the big thing here, no matter how nice you are, no matter how likable you think you are, people will judge you anyway. And they will always find something about you that they don't like. And even more so if you are faking your personality. They will feel it and they will actually be repelled by that. So by trying to be liked, you actually get the entire opposite. Number 3. Money matters. I used to be a very idealistic kid and I always thought, well, money doesn't matter that much, right? If I become a professional later on in my life, I want to do something that I like and I enjoy and that I'm passionate about, and money doesn't matter that much. The most important thing is that I will have fun or be fulfilled by what I do. And while I still kind of subscribe to that kind of approach, I also want to tell you that money matters more than you think. And there will be situations in life where you will wish that you had more money. You see, what you want and what you wish for in life will eventually change. And the older you get, the bigger usually your dreams and wishes will become. And while I strongly want to discourage to adopt a materialistic mindset, you should take into consideration that there will be a point in your life where money matters more than it does right now. And this is one mistake I actually made in my early 20s. I always thought, well, money won't matter in my life. I can go by with very little. And while this held true for a lot of years, I'm now in a situation where I'm a father and my family and I, we wish for having a house. And now I have a job that doesn't pay me as well as I would like it to do. And I kind of regret not to have thought about this earlier and not to have prepared for this earlier. Because in your 20s, you will actually laying the groundwork for how much you actually will earn later on in life. So don't neglect money. Be aware that it could be more important later on in your life than you think right now. Number 4, no one is coming to rescue you. Here's the thing. If you want something in life, you have to take responsibility and ownership for it. Because no one will give it to you for free. If you want to be good at something, you have to work on that. If you want to get something in life, you have to put in the work it takes to get there. And while this is something that should be obvious to most people, for me in my 20s, I always felt like, well, it kind of will come together somehow, when it didn't. It just doesn't happen automatically or magically. You have to put in the work, and you have to be aware that the only one that will change your life is yourself. It just won't happen by itself. And this, again, might sound kind of obvious to you, but do you really understand it? Do you really know what that means? Well, I didn't. I didn't take complete ownership. And now that I'm 32, I wish I would have taken more ownership and more control over my life in my early 20s. And that I would have been kind of less optimistic about how things would come together by themselves. So if you are in your 20s, I really want to urge you, take ownership and be aware that you are the only one that will make a difference in your life. No one is coming to rescue you and no one will do the work for you. The only one who can is yourself. Number 5, your health matters more than you think. In my early 20s, I always felt invincible. I felt like I would be fit and healthy for the rest of my life. And the thing was, I always thought that no matter what I did, no matter how much I ate, how badly I ate, how few I moved in my day, that it wouldn't really matter, that it wouldn't make a difference. Obviously, I saw people around me that were older struggling with their health, but I always thought that this wouldn't happen to me. So I kind of neglected my health for a long period of time. Yes, I would still do sports every now and then, but I usually would do it just for fun. I would eat a lot of bad stuff, and I would spend a lot of time in front of my PC, hunched like that. And eventually, like the back pain came, I got health issues way earlier than I would have thought. I actually developed some really serious health problems in my early to mid 20s, and I'm kind of still suffering from these things, even though I'm constantly working on getting rid of them. But I just wish I would have taken care of myself way earlier in my 20s and not just would have started to work on my health when it basically already was kind of too late. You see, your health is the basis for everything you do in your life. And in your 20s, you lay the groundwork for life here. Because later on, it will be increasingly difficult to make up for the mistakes you made with your health earlier in life. So even if this sounds kind of far away from you, you have to be aware of that. And please, please, please focus on your health. Make it a priority in your life because it basically is the most important asset you have. Now, one more problem I had in my 20s was that I was wasting a lot of my time on my phone. And only in the recent years have I actually managed to reduce my screen time to less than 30 minutes a day. And if you want to know how I did that, I make this video for you. Make sure to check that out. I hope you're having a nice day and maybe I'll see you soon. Goodbye.